And it really goes to prove that if you don't measure something, nothing will be done about it.
And we have to make New Jersey's business climate more attractive for entrepreneurs.
We are Wonder Women. Like, look at all these women and what they've done and what they've tried. And even if they didn't succeed, they gave it a shot.
I don't think it's fair to put a $4 or $5 billion price tag on middle-class New Jerseyans.
We've got a great lifestyle here, and I don't want to see it ruined because politicians can't manage our finances properly.
Hi, I'm Lisa Allen, and this is As a Matter of Fact. My show today is for inventors and entrepreneurs alike. My guest is Lisa Ascolese, also known as the Inventress. She is the founder of Inventing A to Z. Lisa is an entrepreneur, a consultant, and an agent. She has successfully created, patented, and launched dozens of products that have sold on QVC, HSN, and have literally flown off the shelves in national retail stores for over 35 years. I can't wait to introduce you to her. Lisa, thank you so much for coming on.
Lisa, thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting weeks to see you again. So.
Me too. I loved our meeting. I loved how we connected.
I know. So for the viewers out there, we met in a restroom, of course, putting on makeup at Hip NJ.
That's right.
I was going to say NJ Hip, sorry.
That's right.
Yep, Hip
We were
NJ.
both being interviewed.
Yes, we were. And I was with our station manager, Amanda. And I have to tell you, when I met you, I feel like you just exude this amazing kindness.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And you the same.
Oh.
We just connected. We felt like old friends right away in the bathroom.
In the
girl talk. Putting on our makeup, making sure lipstick was together.
Yeah.
But it was a wonderful meeting, and I'm so happy to be here. Love this women talk, and just love to talk entrepreneurship and inventing. So thank you.
I can't wait for you to share your story, because I feel like who you are is really why you are such a success. So I want to start first with, how did you become an inventor, and how did the process and the journey get you to this place?
Good question. It's, you know, I don't think anybody becomes an inventor. I think you're born with it. And for me, for certain, I can tell you, I was 100% born with that innovation. I didn't know I was an inventor. I didn't think of it as that. As a kid, I would just come up with solutions to products and items that didn't work for me, and I created products out of them. You know, so I came up with solutions for problems.
Right.
And as I got older, I realized, wow, okay, I think this is inventing. I can make some money doing this. So my first invention that I can remember was creating shoelaces that stayed stiff.
Ah.
So I didn't have to tie them.
Nice.
And people would ask me where I got them from, but I just made them. I made them, I threw them together. And then after that, I came up with a breastfeeding cake because I was very young when I had my children, and it was embarrassed to nurse in front of anybody. So I created this breastfeeding cake, sold that on in national stores across the country, and international stores, I should say. And so one thing led to another, and of course that inspires you and motivates you, and you say, you know what? People are literally buying my products. So one thing led to another, and of course my confidence built, and I started making other products for QVC television and HSN, and just taking products from concept to fruition, and helping other people to do it at the same time.
Yeah. You know, it's really interesting that you say that, because I think you're unique in the sense that people do come up with ideas all day long.
They do.
But not everyone executes. I don't want to say nobody executes,
Right.
but I had ideas when I was staying home with my kids. I wanted to do it was like a stroller, you know, remember the umbrella strollers?
Sure.
And I wanted to make one with big tires. So I said to my husband, I'm like, because I was walking around all the time, and the stroller would get stuck. And I felt like, I said to my husband, I want to invent this. And he said to me, where are you going to start? And so how did you get to a place that you actually were able to execute? Because that's the trick.
That is the trick. And just, well, getting to the place, I made a lot of mistakes. So I did things I wasn't sure how to make it. How do you know? How do you know how to design? Do I draw it first? Do I create a prototype and give it away to a company? So I made a lot of mistakes. I gave my products away to a couple of different companies, and I learned that that's not how you do it. So I backed it up, and I said, okay, I'm starting my own step-by-step platform, and that's exactly what I did. Just starting simple things. And I mean, I could sit here for an hour and a half telling you what to do, but there are literally step-by-step ways of putting the product together the right way. Number one, NDA, non-disclosure agreement. If you're going to share your idea with anybody, Never say anything in front of anybody because, not that anybody wants to steal from you necessarily, but they could be excited about it. For example, you tell your mom, Mom, I just invented this beautiful thing, this great stroller with these big wheels, and before you know it, your mother says to the next door neighbor, Mary, guess what my daughter Lisa just invented? Before you know it, Lisa, your next door neighbor, has this amazing new stroller that you invented.
Right.
So it's non-disclosure agreement, it's keeping it to yourself, and it's coming up, taking a step-by-step plan and writing everything down and just being very, very careful with how you do each thing. And of course, you call me, the Inventress.
Well, how do people find you?
Okay, so my website is inventingatoz.com. My email, info@inventingatoz.com.
Okay. So once they find you, do they bring just an idea, or do you expect them to have a prototype when they get to you?
They can come with nothing. So they can have an idea, and I extract that information out of their heads. I literally put it on paper, and I take them through the process. So I consult with them for about an hour to an hour and a half and walk them through the entire thing, and it's a lot. There's a lot of in between. It's not just, here's a product, put it on the shelf, and let's get making money. That's not how it goes. It's a beautiful process. It's a long process, and you got to be ready for it.
Yeah. Do you find that Shark Tank has changed the industry? Now, you've been in this industry almost 30 years, right?
Yeah.
So is it less competitive or more competitive now that you have a Shark Tank that's out there allowing inventors to be sharing their ideas?
I love that Shark Tank is out there because it's, to me, it creates a more level playing ground because there are very few companies out there, some not so good, taking advantage of people. So Shark Tank is kind of like they're kind of a jumping off platform for people who really don't know either. I mean, yes, they're farther ahead because products are pretty much done when you're there. But for me, I have a lot more clients because of Shark Tank because I bring them from beginning to the next level.
Right, it
or the
legitimized
beginning
it.
to Shark Tank. Yes, it legitimized it, for sure.
Oh. Are you going to be a judge on Shark Tank?
Maybe someday, God only knows, God willing.
I would love it. How long is the process? So if someone comes to you from ideation, and not just to creation, but actually getting it on QVC or in the stores, what is the average time it takes to get that invention, from A to Z?
So that's different for everyone, and I have to tell you, the person inventing the product has a lot to do with it. They have to put in as much as I do, for example. So if somebody comes to me with a product idea or an invention, I'm trying to get that information out of them. What are the dimensions of it? And if they don't return my phone calls or have a dialogue with me, that's lapse time. So you can have something like my hair accessory, the bun tie. That took me literally, 5 months to do, but because I didn't stop. It was fabric, it was easy, there was no electronics to go along with it, and I kept the project moving. It's about keeping it moving, keeping the process moving. If you stop, then there's lag time. Something electronic could take 2 years. And it depends. Again, every product is different.
And you do basically anything, whether it's electronic or fabric.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
And do you continue to invent, or are you more focused on helping people invent?
Well, I can't help inventing. So I do continue to invent. I allow myself to mentally invent on Saturdays. That's my day. So Saturday mornings when I'm home and I think of products, I'll write it down. I don't want to put too much time into it because it is a lot of time.
It is a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. So yes, more of my time is spent helping others.
It is, okay.
Yes.
I was going to say, because what is the process of, you have a very busy life. I've seen you all over. So what is the process of you creating an invention in that short amount of time?
So, and I'd say the same way I would explain to a client is I would write down exactly what it is, beginning to end, all of the details, down to the color, the size, the dimension, what it's made of, and create like a little bio for yourself almost. And then start with, again, coming to me, because it's really difficult, and I'm not just saying that, I mean it. Come to me, Lisa Ascolese, the Inventress. I'm serious. Because you have to be very, very careful with who you speak with and where you go and how you start the process. A lot of people, the first thing they want to do is put a patent on it. How do you put a patent on something that doesn't exist?
That's a question. That's my question for
you.
Yes.
So you have to be, be careful with what attorneys you go to, because some attorneys may just say, yeah, put a patent on it. I'll do a search that could cost a whole lot of money. And it's not necessarily the right product for the right demographic. And there's a lot more to that than I'm saying. But you have to understand your market. Who is this product for? Is it for everybody or is it just for you? So you have to do your due diligence. Look at the market, look at your demographic. Who are you selling it to?
Right.
Because it's expensive. You know, you're going to invent something just for yourself. You can, but just make yourself a prototype, a DIY.
Yeah. Do you have a mentor? I mean, I'm sure you've had mentors through your life, but even to this day.
I do. I have to say, my grandmother, my mother have been my greatest. My father, my family has been great. Amazing mentors in my life. Been very, very blessed. Today, Dionne Warwick. Dionne Warwick is one of my mentors.
Yeah, we're going to
She
get
really
to
is.
that.
She's outstanding.
That's
She's an outstanding mentor.
Well, you know what? Since you brought up Dionne, you had her on one of your podcasts because you do a podcast, Motivational Mondays.
Yes, I do.
And we'll make sure that people know where to find that. So talk about Dionne and your relationship with her and how she became your mentor.
Well, it's a very long story. I'll make it short.
Okay.
I write music and poetry and things like that also. So initially I went to her for a song that I wrote called Heal the World. And we were planning on doing something with the song that kind of didn't happen, but she loved the idea of my inventing. So she was literally the first person to put me in public schools, inventing. So my program I have is Inventing A to Z, Problems, Challenges, and Solutions. And I started teaching in the East Orange school districts.
Wow.
And holding seminars with kids, invention conventions, and things like that. So she put me in the schools. And this was about 20 years ago. And we've stayed connected ever since. She's had some products, and I've been working with her on some things, and that's how it went. So I just went and met her out in Vegas the other day and did a Motivational Monday.
That is, so you flew to Vegas to see her. Oh my goodness. Are you still in the schools? Do you still do anything with East Orange? Talk about that.
I am in schools. I teach at Princeton University every single year. There's a group of girls who come in from all over the world to learn everything, entrepreneurship skills, understand how to write theses, thesis,
right.
and just, so I work with a lot of kids from Rutgers University and just go into all kinds of schools and teach. And we have fun.
Yeah.
So the class again is called Problems, Challenges, and Solutions. And it's almost like a Shark Tank kind of setup where all of the kids get together in groups and they invent in groups, come up with widgets, and they come up and present the products, and someone wins. They all win.
Yeah.
But at the end, they have a product, they have a company name, they have a business, and they have a product.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it for only girls or boys and girls?
It's boys and girls.
Okay. Because my boys love Shark Tank. I mean,
wow.
In that sense, you know what I mean? So that would be something my boys would probably be interested in.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll always look at our website because I'm always doing something different. We have workshops at least once a month. We just did one called Lunch and Learn. So I had Tara, social media there. I had a couple of attorneys there and just a bunch of people learning the entire inventing process and how to market.
That is so exciting. All right. I'm going to transition because I feel that in order to be so successful, you have to have good habits. And I believe all good leaders have some kind of habitual process that works for them.
Definitely.
What kind of habits have you, they might have even changed, but what habits do you have and what habits have you gotten rid of that have drug you down?
Sure. So my habits every day are the same. So I wake up and I make a production list. Every day I have a production list. And my production list, I actually mark off what I've done. So if I had 24 things on my list from the day before I didn't get done, I'll continue to add to my list and mark off what I've done. Number one. Number two, I do not overwhelm myself with things that I cannot do, that I don't have time to do. Not that I can't do, because I won't use can't, that I don't have the time to do. I use my moments wisely.
Let me ask you a question. What is it that you don't want to do? Because I don't think that people identify that all the time. So to be even able to say, this is not going to benefit me, is actually a successful leadership trait. So how do you recognize that?
Sure. If it's something that does not feel comfortable for me. So let's just say it's a conference that someone asked me to speak at. I take a look at who's in the audience and what the clientele is and everything like that. And if it's not something that's suitable for me, I'm not doing it. If I'm going to talk about mechanics, auto mechanics, and I'm not doing it. It's not for me. I know it's not. It doesn't sit well for me. But you know what? It's hard for me to dislike anything when it comes to entrepreneurship. So the no is really hard. But my time is very important, and I have to use it wisely.
Yeah. Are there any habits that you were doing that weren't working for you? I feel like I was saying yes to a lot of volunteering or going to conferences that I loved going to, not conferences, but like speaking engagements. And then I was like, you know what? It wasn't my target audience. So what kind of habits, how do you figure out how to say no to the things that you're like, well, you know?
That's easy for me now, Lisa. The older I get, the easier it is for me to say no.
Yeah.
No, because again, I have to choose my time wisely. There are things that are very, very important that I have to be awake for and alert for. I was just in Forbes magazine. Got to be ready for Forbes, right?
I know we want to talk
So,
about
I mean,
that.
there are things that I have to say, okay, does this really make any sense? Does it add value to my business, very importantly? Am I taking away from my family by doing this? You know, how important is it?
Yeah, there's only so much time in the day. It's that 80-20 rule.
Definitely.
Right. Let's talk about Forbes. You were just featured in Forbes. How did that happen?
How surreal is that?
I mean, that is a coveted magazine.
Yeah,
so.
it really is something. It's really surreal to me, and I mean, thanks to my publicist and just people who I'm surrounded by who are positive and encourage me, because we all need encouragement, right? And so helping me to do the things that I do.
Yeah.
You know, even inventing, you need a support team. You need people around you to lift you up every single day, because it gets exhausting. So getting into Forbes is really, it was about my history. You know, and I know it's very, very different what I do. I know I look different than most people who are out there doing what I do as a woman of color. And for so many years doing the same thing, CEO, founder, and 100% owner and operator of my own company. So when I say that sounds like a big deal.
It is a big
When
deal.
I read it, no, when I say, is that me? When I read it, it was a big deal. So I still am very, very grateful. It was surreal and still is.
It is. How
Great
do you stay
opportunity.
how do you stay so grounded?
My upbringing, it really is. You know, I love the Lord, I love my family, and I think that's, without that, you have nothing. Without that, you're without.
Yeah. I have
You
a
know,
strong prayer
because
life.
it comes back to that.
Yeah.
It all comes back to that. It really does.
You have a conference coming up.
I do.
Will you talk about that?
I sure will.
Yeah.
So the conference is called AOE. It's the Association of Women Inventors and Entrepreneurs. And just because it says women in it, it does not mean it's exclusive to men. So I have a lot of men coming. In fact, this year I have my first male panel. So I started AOE in 2014. It's a musically inspired conference. It's a lot of fun. We have food, entertainment, music.
A lot of singing, right?
Oh,
That's
lots of singing and dancing and vendors, and it's a blast. And some great speakers this year. We're honoring Dionne Warwick. She is over 58 years in the industry and just keeps on going. So I just really want to honor her in music and I mean, mostly women, but men. Like I said, men are coming too, and we're honoring them this year. And what's fun for me is the men are going to walk on stage to the song that inspires them. So everybody who walks on my stage walks on stage to a song that inspires them.
Oh, wow.
So I say, what's your song? What's your song, Lisa?
That's a great question. These boots are made for walking.
There you go. I love it.
Oh, my gosh.
I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's going to be great. It's going to be Saturday, June 29th. It's going to be held in Lakewood, New Jersey at the Grand. Beautiful place on Route 70. It's from 11 to 5. So networking in the morning from 11 to about 11 to 12, and prayer and singing and stuff. It's just going to be a blast.
Fantastic. It's every year,
You
right?
have to be there.
I will definitely be
Okay,
there.
good,
It's on my
yes.
calendar already.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. It is every year, yes, to answer your question. It's
yeah,
every
it's an
year,
annual-
different times every year, different places. And outside of that, again, we do have the workshops. So for more information, just go to the website, aowie.com. And there's always new information there. We have newsletters, and you'll always see updated information.
okay. And can you give us a sneak peek why you're honoring the men? It's interesting because generally it's women up on stage. Can you tell us anything, or is that a secret?
No, I mean, I think men were important. I mean, the men that I started stuttering over that one. No. So last year, so every year we have a 2-minute elevator pitch. And one of the winners, well, the winner last year was a gentleman. His name is Kevin Lane. And he came up and he pitched this amazing product called Create a Castle. And he won. And I said he's going to come back this year because, well, first of all, everybody who wins the 2-minute elevator pitch wins money. They win my services for a lifetime to help them with their products and to develop their products or put them on national television. So I got Kevin right away on QVC. And I said, he needs some male support.
Yeah.
I said, let's get a panel of men to support Kevin.
Oh,
So this
I
year we're
love
doing
that.
that. And besides, we want to involve our husbands. My husband is there. He's a performer.
Yeah.
So
How many years have you been married?
I'm with Phil now. It's 16 years. 16 years.
And 2 beautiful daughters?
I have 3 children.
3
Yes, this is my second
children.
marriage. I have 3
apologize.
children.
Yeah.
And so I have a daughter who is 24. That's my baby. 29. And my son just turned 40.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
yeah, so it's fun.
You do not look like you should have a 40-year-old.
Thank you.
I mean it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's incredible. They
Yeah,
must
they're
be
great.
so proud of you.
They are proud of me, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to have a mom like you come from an entrepreneurial family.
Yes.
You've said that your parents are very entrepreneurial.
Yes, yes.
But they must really, do they get involved in your work? Or is there, do you
Well,
have-
they always did support me. Both my parents have passed.
Yeah.
But yes, they always supported me, always. Yeah, my father was in radiology, but he always had his side thing going, selling insurance and doing whatever. My mom, too, worked for an insurance agency and just was always very supportive.
Yeah.
And I think that's that West Indian spirit, too. My background is West Indies. So
Well, and you were going.
we have 100 jobs.
Yeah. It's true. And because you had gone to school, you were going to go into radiology,
Yep,
right?
I did computer science, and then I did ultrasound after that.
Okay.
So it was medical.
Very
I love
different.
the medical field, the whole helping people thing. I love.
And it's amazing that you pivoted and you went into something you love.
Yes.
It's really incredible. I just want to read this quick quote to you because as I do research on everybody, you've been known to say some quotes. And on one of your podcasts, you talk about networking. And I think relationships are everything. Without relationships, whatever you're trying to accomplish in life, you have to have good relationships. And so this quote says, "The richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for a job." What do you feel? What do you hear when I say that?
Well, I mean, networking, looking for people who are like-minded is very, very important to me. And that's the reason for my success, is networking with the right people. People who can help to lift you up. My mission statement is lifting each other up 2 hands at a time, bridging the gap between ambition and success. And that's where success comes in. You marry those 2 things and you'll never fail.
Oh,
Surround yourself by people who are the same. Well, everybody's not the same. We're all different, thank God.
Right.
But who can build you up and who you can help. You help one another.
I can't remember who said it. It might have been Jim Rohn, who said, "You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with." I tell my boys all the time, hang out with people who have growth mindsets,
That's
who are
right.
supportive, right?
Yes, who are smarter than you.
Yeah, yes.
100%.
Yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how you grow.
right. And you want people to challenge you. You don't want
That's
to hang
right.
out with people who just agree with you all the time. So I know I don't know if anyone's going to bring it to me, but I also saw in one of your videos that you love juice.
I do.
I had to talk to you about this because I love juice. I actually think it's the fountain of youth. And so you tend to drink your juice before you work out.
I do.
Do you work out a lot? I'm sorry to ask you that
Oh, no,
publicly.
that's okay.
But I feel like that is part of the success, right? What you put in your body and what you do with it and how you approach life in general is all about success. So
It is.
Yeah, so I have a juice for you at some point that I want to give to you. But talk to me a little bit about how you take care of yourself, because when you're outside of all this, mentally, physically, you have to be able to shut down a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit.
for
and-
sure.
Yeah, how
For
do
sure.
you do that?
I'm my best self when I juice. I am 100%. So my juicing also motivates me to work out.
Yeah.
So I do my juicing in the morning. After my juicing, I'll have a little, I'll have like maybe half a cup. I'll do like 24 ounces. Half a cup, so I'm not too full when I'm working out. And then I'll train, get back home, and do my juice again, have a nice protein lunch, and that's what keeps my body going.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have
As
to.
much as we're running around, us women, I mean, you gotta do something to keep yourself right. And keep your head straight.
Yeah. How did you learn juicing? Is that from
My grandmother.
your grandmother?
My grandmother always juiced. Yeah, she always juiced carrot juice, and she did some parsley. And with the carrots, she always took the rind and made little cupcakes.
Yeah.
Every single day. Every single.
The carrot
I don't
in the
have her
cupcake?
recipes. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't have her recipes. I wish I did.
yeah.
But every day she made that, and so she was in great shape. She drank her juice. She had her cupcakes, and it was great.
See, I don't feel like, I mean, now it's become kind of a big thing, but I had to ask you about that because I know it sounds really silly, but I have done videos on juicing. I feel like it really helps me keep clear and because I don't work out as much as I should, but I know.
I don't either. I mean, I have a trainer that comes once a week and she keeps me on point. And sometimes I go away, so I can't. You know, I'm traveling and it's hard. It's hard sometimes, but I try to get there at least 3 days a week.
Yeah. I'm going to read one more quote, because if you can believe it, we are literally almost at the 30 minutes.
No.
I know, it's crazy. This is about resilience, because I feel like in this day and age, sometimes we think that adversity is a bad thing. And we aren't teaching our kids that these are the things that make us strongest, right? And so this quote is, persistence and resilience only come from having been given the chance to work through difficult problems. Just give me one example as we wind down of a difficult problem that you had worked through that you feel has made you a better person and the reason why you're sitting here today.
That's a really good question. I would say, I'll say, the first thing that comes to my mind is this is a male-dominated industry that I'm in. And at first, you know, going into meet with different buyers and so forth, I felt pushback. But I said, you know what? I've got to overcome that and let that go. Pray about it, meditate about it, and like push past it. And I have. So I don't let those things or anything like that stand in my way. So when anything negative comes towards me, I meditate about it, jump over it, and keep on going.
I love your honesty. You know what? Sometimes we think we're supposed to be perfect. You know,
and none of us are. We're not.
No. And with social media, there's this optics that everybody's got it figured out, right?
Oh, no.
So I'm glad that you're honest about that.
Oh, no, there's challenges every single day.
Yeah.
Just got to find a way to manage them, that's all. Don't let them overtake you.
That is a good quote to leave on. I'm going to quote you on that. Can I put that in my book?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
All right. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you. What a pleasure. Thank you for having me. This was
Absolutely.
wonderful. Thank you so much.
I'll see you in June.
Yes, I'll see you in June. Yay.
All right.
No, it's fabulous. Can't wait to read your book.
I know. Well, this is, I don't know if I can advertise this, but it's called $1 Million Habits. So it's really wonderful when you're reading quotes and you're being inspired, and it's all about people who've overcome. So
okay, very good. I love it.
Like,
it's perfect.
Yeah, I feel like you should have written this book.
Oh, that's great. Maybe
right.
I'll do a sequel to that.
All right. All right.
See these pages.
And I want to thank you. And we're going. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed today's show. And if you were inspired, shed your fear, get out there, develop your own invention, or follow your dream, whatever it is. Do not be afraid. Remember, adversities are usually not obstacles, but they're opportunities in disguise. It's all how you see the world. For more programming like this, visit any of HTTV's social media on our website, on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube channel. I'm Lisa Allen, and this is As a Matter of Fact. Thank you.